Imagine living your life with unwavering purpose, clarity, and strength. A life where you navigate challenges with resilience, make decisions with confidence, and find deep fulfillment in every moment. This is the life Miyamoto Musashi, one of history's greatest swordsmen and samurai, can help you achieve. Musashi's teachings transcend the battlefield. They are timeless principles that can transform your everyday life. Miyamoto Musashi, renowned for his invincibility in duels and his profound wisdom, penned the Dokkodo, or the Way of Walking Alone, a set of 21 life principles distilled from his extraordinary experiences and philosophy. Musashi lived in Japan during the late 16th and early 17th centuries, a time marked by social upheaval and constant warfare. He fought in over 60 duels, never losing a single one. His mastery of the sword was unparalleled, but it was his strategic mind and philosophical insights that truly set him apart. Towards the end of his life, Musashi reflected on his experiences and wrote down these principles to guide others in living a life of purpose and integrity. The power of Musashi's principles lies in their simplicity and depth. They challenge you to look inward, to cultivate a strong character, and to live authentically. Embracing these principles can profoundly impact your life, helping you navigate the complexities of modern existence with the same clarity and focus that guided Musashi through countless battles. By integrating these timeless teachings into your daily routine, you can transform your approach to challenges, relationships, and personal growth, ultimately leading a more fulfilling and empowered life. Stay with us until the end, because understanding and applying these principles may just change your life. This journey through Musashi's wisdom could be the key to unlocking a more purposeful, resilient, and contented you. As we explore these principles, take a moment to reflect on your own life. Are there areas where you feel stuck or unfulfilled? How do you handle challenges and setbacks? Do you live according to your values, or are you swayed by external pressures and desires? Musashi's teachings invite you to examine these questions and consider how you can apply his wisdom to your daily life. For instance, Musashi's principle of accept everything just the way it is encourages you to embrace reality without resistance. How often do you find yourself fighting against circumstances you cannot change? What would happen if you accepted them and focused your energy on what you can control instead? Another powerful principle is, do not seek pleasure for its own sake. In a world obsessed with instant gratification, this can be a tough one to follow. Reflect on your habits and desires. Are they leading you towards long-term fulfillment or momentary satisfaction? How can you align your actions with your deeper values and goals? By questioning and reflecting on these principles, you can start making meaningful changes in your life. As you integrate Musashi's wisdom, you'll likely find that your approach to challenges, relationships, and personal growth becomes more intentional and aligned with your true self. Now, let's dive into these 21 timeless principles and discover how they can transform your life. If you find these insights valuable, please subscribe to our channel for more transformative content. Stay connected, stay inspired, and continue walking your path with purpose. Let's begin. Principle 1. Accept everything just the way it is. Your mental and emotional well-being is significantly impacted by accepting reality and the present moment for what it is without fight or judgment. When put into practice, this principle can transform your outlook on life, improve your health, and promote a more peaceful relationship with your surroundings and other people. By letting go of distractions and the chaos of negative emotions like fear, doubt, and anger, you can truly free your mind. You can focus more intently on the job at hand and respond to any situation with greater clarity and speed as a result of your inner turmoil being released. Acceptance includes seeing challenges in a new light, which often shows answers that were hidden by your emotional reactions. It is not just about dealing with challenges better. Accepting reality also helps you gain a deeper understanding of your circumstances. The basis for personal growth and learning is laid by this understanding, which is crucial. There is a chance for development and understanding in every situation, no matter how challenging it may be. You often find chances for improvement and learning when you look at your events through the lens of acceptance, which you might not have seen if you were fighting the reality of your situation. In order to understand this principle, mindfulness is crucial. When you are aware and present in the moment, you pay attention to the here and now instead of getting caught up in worries or thoughts about the past or the future. Focusing on what you can do right now instead of worrying about the future helps you let go of doubts and fears. Mindfulness enables you to experience life as it is, without the heavy filters of past courage or future worries, enabling a more real contact with the world. You don't hold on to expectations or biases when you accept things as they are. Instead, you stay open to seeing things for what they really are. This openness can help you be more flexible, make better decisions, and live a happier, less stressed life in the long run. You learn to navigate the ups and downs of life with grace and resilience by cultivating an attitude of acceptance, which transforms possible challenges into stepping stones for success. By removing mental and emotional junk that can cloud your judgment and depress your spirits, this principle also promotes a better way of thinking. When you stop fighting reality, you have less trouble with other people and with yourself. Acceptance helps you deal with the flaws and unknowns in life in a more calm and balanced way, which lowers your stress and anxiety. Additionally, acceptance does not mean giving up. It means taking part in life in a way that honors the way things naturally happen. It pushes you to take positive action that is guided by a clear understanding of what is possible and what is outside of your control. This can help you reach your goals and solve your problems in a more satisfying way. Take a work loss like a failed project or missing out on a raise as an example. By accepting the situation as it is, you can analyze it rationally, learn from the experience, and plan your next steps without feeling guilty or resentful. This method not only helps with personal growth, but it also makes you more ready for challenges in the future. In personal relationships, acceptance can help you accept people for who they are, flaws and all, rather than trying to change them to fit your expectations. A sense of peace and contentment is fostered, and deeper, more real relationships are made as a result. The path to a fuller, happier life is paved with the practice of accepting everything exactly as it is. It helps get rid of the extraneous things so that you can focus on what really counts. A life marked by deeper peace, better relationships, and a strong spirit that easily overcomes problems can be yours if you follow this principle. Don't forget that acceptance is the key to a more peaceful, happy, and meaningful life. Principle 2. Do not seek pleasure for its own sake. When you look for pleasure just for the sake of it, you may only get short-lived satisfaction that takes your attention away from more rewarding and important things in life. You are encouraged by this principle to look for deeper, longer-lasting kinds of happiness that contribute to your general health and personal growth. When you only focus on short-term pleasures, like doing too many leisure activities, eating too much, spending too much, or other such things, you may find that these pleasures lose their value quickly. This can start you on a never-ending quest for fulfillment or contentment as you chase after one pleasure after another. This never-ending search can not only use up all of your energy and money, but it can also keep you from focusing on the more enjoyable parts of life, like building relationships and helping your community. You might also forget about your long-term goals and the hard work you need to do to reach them if you focus on short-term pleasures. Think about the difference between wasting an evening on useless pleasure and using that time to learn something new or work on a personal project. The first one might help you relax and escape right away, but the second one gives you long-lasting satisfaction through personal growth and success. It takes effort and mindfulness to shift your focus from wanting momentary pleasures to cultivating long-term well-being. It means being able to tell what is good for you in the long run from what feels good in the moment. Making decisions that are in line with your deeper values and goals requires this insight, which is crucial. Moderation in all parts of life is a good way to put this principle into practice. You can enjoy the joys of life without becoming dependent on them for happiness by avoiding extremes and finding a good balance. This equilibrium enables you to enjoy the good things in life while remaining dedicated to your own personal development and the welfare of others. You can also find more lasting sources of happiness by focusing on things that make you happy on their own, like personal growth, relationships, and helping others. These reasons are naturally more satisfying because they connect with your deeper sense of purpose and identity, rather than just wanting praise or benefits from other people. As an example, volunteering can give you a deep sense of satisfaction because you're helping other people and making a difference in your community. This kind of work brings you deep and wide-ranging happiness because it makes your life and the lives of those you help better. Greater mental and psychological resilience can also be fostered by this principle. You build a better character and a more stable sense of self when you don't give in to every desire for instant pleasure. With a clear mind and a steady heart, this stability helps you face the challenges of life, knowing that your happiness is not based on outside circumstances, but on a strong sense of who you are and what you value. In conclusion, do not seek pleasure for its own sake is a reminder to think about why you take the actions you do and to pick the ways that will bring you true fulfillment. It teaches you how to develop pleasures that support your personal growth and contribute to a fulfilling life. You can live a better, more fulfilling life that isn't just about what you can get out of the world, but also about what you can contribute to it by adopting this principle. Principle 3. Do not, under any circumstances, depend on a partial feeling. When you base your decisions only on short-lived or incomplete emotions, you might make choices that aren't in your best interests or don't match your true goals. In order to make choices based on a wide range of emotions and thoughts rather than a brief urge, this principle pushes you to develop a thorough approach to your decisions. You are frequently responding to only a fraction of the situation when you act on a partial feeling, whether it be a burst of anger, a rush of joy, or a pang of jealousy. Although true and significant, these emotions don't always give you a full picture and can distort how you see reality. For example, if you make a big career decision out of frustration with your present job, you might not think about the good things about a new chance or the possible risks. To stay away from the problems that come with having partial feelings, it's important to become emotionally mature and aware. This means being aware of and accepting your first responses, while also giving yourself time to think about them. Check to see if your present emotions are in line with your long-term goals and core ideals. Mindfulness is a practice that can be used to put this principle into practice. You must have the courage to be mindful of your emotions without acting on them right away. You gain the ability to respond rather than react by taking a step back and examining how you feel. With this method, you can deal with your emotions in a careful and deliberate way, which results in more balanced and logical results. Not relying on partial thoughts also helps you become more patient and wise. It tells you to wait to make choices until you have a better understanding of your emotions and the circumstances. In relationships, where rash decisions based on fleeting feelings can cause misunderstandings and fights, this can be particularly valuable. You can speak better and build stronger, more understanding relationships if you give yourself time to understand how you feel in their full context. People are also encouraged to look for bigger picture views, which is another part of this principle. A narrow point of view can often lead to a partial feeling. You can improve your understanding and avoid the narrow-mindedness that comes with acting on impulse by being open to other points of view. You can do this by talking to other people, reading, or personally reflecting. For example, think about a time when you felt insulted or hurt by something a friend said. Consider their goals, your previous contacts, and any misunderstandings that could have caused the situation before taking defensive action based on your original feeling of hurt. Looking at things in a bigger picture might help you see that the word wasn't meant to hurt, which will let you respond in a way that asks for explanation and promotes mutual respect. Adhering to the principle of not relying on a partial feeling improves your emotional intelligence and your ability to make decisions. It supports a more balanced and thoughtful approach to life, promotes a deeper, more complex involvement with your emotions, and improves your relationships. You give yourself the tools to navigate life's difficulties with knowledge and calm by mastering this principle, making sure that your actions are always in line with your core values and long-term goals. Principle 4. Think lightly of yourself and deeply of the world. This principle encourages a balanced view that includes knowing oneself and caring deeply about the community and the world as a whole. It requires you to approach life with respect and a strong sense of duty for the world around you. When you think lightly of yourself, you don't make yourself less important. Instead, you adopt a modest view of your place in the world, which can free you from the weight of ego and self-centeredness. You are more open to learning and growth when you have a low self-esteem. Without the weight of pride or ego, this mindset enables you to accept your limits and welcome chances for improvement. It also builds resilience because you're less likely to be too hard on yourself when you fail or experience a loss. Instead, you'll see those things as natural parts of learning. The complexity and connection of life, on the other hand, are revealed when one considers the world carefully. To be ethical, you have to be committed to understanding bigger social, environmental, and moral problems, and thinking about how your activities affect other people. By supporting a sense of global citizenship and duty, this point of view motivates you to act in ways that are kind to other people and the environment. In a business setting, for example, thinking lightly of yourself might mean being open to comments and ready to work with others without pushing your own ideas on them. It makes the workplace more open and useful, where people can share their thoughts and come up with new ones. But also, really thinking about the world could lead to moral business practices that care about more than just making money. These practices could include the well-being of workers, neighborhoods, and the environment. In personal relationships, this principle is also crucial. Self-importance can make it harder to understand and accept the differences in others. This can lead to deeper and more balanced relationships. It is essential for unity and respect between people that you become more empathic and less likely to force your views or wishes on others. Knowing what's going on in the world right now, understanding how things fit into history, and thinking about how choices made today will affect things in the future are all part of deep thinking. It can include things like helping, taking part in community talks, or giving money to causes that aim to make life better for everyone. You can put this principle into practice by regularly reflecting on your ego to evaluate and control it, and by learning about bigger problems in the world. Doing simple things like recycling, saving water, or buying items that are good for the environment can help you think more deeply about the world. The idea that you are a part of a bigger picture and that your actions contribute to a group effect can be reinforced by participating in community work or advocacy. In conclusion, think lightly of yourself and deeply of the world is a reminder to develop respect and a sense of responsibility toward other people and the environment. It challenges you to stop living for yourself and contribute to the world in a good way. Adopting this principle can help you live a more meaningful, polite, and effective life where social duty and personal growth go hand in hand, creating a more caring and sustainable world. Principle 5. Be detached from desire your whole life long. The importance of mastering one's wants and maintaining a sense of detachment throughout life is highlighted by this Miyamoto Musashi principle. You must have the courage to put aside transient desires and focus on deeper, more lasting goals. Being free of desire doesn't mean you should give up on your goals or stop having fun. Instead, it's about learning to gain control over your urges and not letting desire determine your actions. This method helps you make choices that are in line with your long-term goals and real values, as opposed to letting short-term emotions or wants guide you. You can stay cool and collected in different scenarios when you have detachment. This keeps your emotions from getting in the way of your judgment. In order to handle challenges and opportunities with knowledge and perspective, this clarity of mind is crucial in both personal and professional situations. You are also less likely to experience failure and dissatisfaction with action if you are not attached to specific results or things. You develop a flexible attitude that allows you to handle changes and losses with grace, seeing them as part of the journey rather than as personal failures. To live without wants, you should first figure out what's important to you, your core ideals and best goals. Your decision-making and action will be more in line with your deeper goals thanks to this understanding of the world. Another strong tool for cultivating detachment is mindfulness practice. You can learn to be mindful by observing your thoughts and wishes without acting on them right away. Over time, this practice can help you tell the difference between urges that are fleeting and, more important, long-term wants that are worth following. Think about a situation in which you have a strong desire to purchase an expensive item that you don't really need. You can use the principle of detachment to take a step back and think about whether this buy fits with your true wants and financial goals. Instead of making a hasty decision based on what will make you feel good right now, you choose a path that will help you be financially stable and happy in the long run. Detachment from desire in relationships enables you to love and respect other people without attempting to hold or control them. An open and kind attitude leads to relationships that are better and more real. Detachment can affect your interactions with the world on a larger scale. It supports a way of life that is less about getting things and more about giving back. You learn more about how the choices you make in your daily life affect society and the environment. This makes you make decisions that are better for the world and are more moral. Some examples of putting the greater good ahead of personal ease are choosing to travel less by air or taking the bus to lower your carbon footprint. A strong leading principle that promotes a balanced, fulfilling life is to be detached from desire your whole life long. It helps you live with purpose and honesty by teaching you to put what really matters first. True contentment comes from being free from the need to have everything, not from having everything. By adopting this principle, you can experience deep personal growth and make a good difference in the world around you. Principle 6. Do not regret what you have done. Focusing on growth and improvement rather than dwelling on past mistakes is advised by this principle. In order to promote resilience and a positive attitude toward life, it teaches you to see every experience as a chance for learning and personal development. Regret can be a negative feeling that makes you afraid to try new things or take advantage of chances for fear of failing again. Making choices based on what lies ahead rather than what has been left behind is made possible by having a mindset that refrains from hating past actions. This principle doesn't mean that you should ignore mistakes or not learn from them. Instead, it's about learning valuable lessons from past events without letting them haunt you. This makes it easier to change and be positive about life, where mistakes can be seen as stepping stones to future success. Reflection and forgiveness are two real-world ways to put this principle into practice. Think about choices and acts you've made in the past to understand how they turned out. As you reflect on your mistakes, remember that each one was a part of your journey that brought you new insights and growth. For you to be free of the weight of guilt, this process of introspection and forgiveness is crucial. After admitting a mistake, another approach is to focus on practical steps. Consider what can be done right now to fix the situation or avoid similar problems in the future rather than dwelling on what went wrong. Taking action-based steps keeps you focused on the present and the future instead of dwelling on the past. What if you made a big decision about your job that didn't work out the way you thought it would, causing you to lose ground in your field? Analyze the situation to understand what factors contribute to the result, rather than focusing on this decision with sorrow. Use what you've learned to help you make decisions about your future job. For example, do more study or talk to trusted teachers before making big changes. When it comes to personal relationships, this principle can help you keep things healthy. Recognize any mistakes or misunderstandings from previous encounters, learn from them, and then let them go. This way of thinking keeps past problems from getting in the way of your present and future relationships, so you can talk to people with an open mind. Having no regrets can have a big effect on your mental and emotional health. It leads to a happier and more fulfilled life, where energy is focused on present activities and goals for the future, instead of anger over things that happened in the past. This principle also supports a mindset of acceptance and resilience. Not only does it teach you and those around you that mistakes are normal, they're also necessary for personal growth and development. This can help make the place where you work, live, or be in your neighborhood a more accepting and helpful place to be. Do not regret what you have done is a changing principle that promotes emotional freedom and positive change. It helps you focus on ongoing improvement and the good things about each experience. You can live a more productive and satisfying life if you adopt this mindset, which is characterized by a lasting sense of peace and a flexible approach to both personal and professional challenges. Adopting this principle not only improves your resilience, but it also improves your relationships with other people, resulting in a more peaceful and understanding community. Principle 7. Never be jealous. This principle stresses the importance of maintaining a happy, positive frame of mind that is free from the negative effects of envy. By instilling resentment and a sense of failure, jealousy can harm your happiness and success. Taking a stand against jealousy gives you the power to enjoy your own successes and the successes of others without feeling threatened or less important. When you compare yourself negatively to others, whether it's in terms of their accomplishments, belongings, or personal traits, you can feel jealous. One's own achievements and potential may be diminished by this comparison, which can also cause feelings of inadequacy and unhappiness. Jealousy can also ruin relationships, making friends, family, and co-workers angry and hesitant to trust each other. Building a sense of self-worth and contentment that isn't based on similarities with other people can help fight jealousy. The key to resisting the urge to compare yourself to others is to be grateful for what you have and acknowledge your own successes. You can strengthen your value and lessen the influence of jealousy by keeping your focus on your individual path and enjoying your personal achievements. Start by being grateful to put this principle into practice in your daily life. Your focus can change from what you don't have to what you have by keeping a gratitude log or thinking about what you're grateful for on a regular basis. A more happy and less critical mindset can be reached by changing this point of view. To use anger as a cue for self-reflection and growth is another good approach. Don't let jealousy control how you feel. Instead, think about what it can teach you about your goals and wants. It might show you what you need to work on or where you want to achieve. To avoid dwelling on someone else's life, use this knowledge to drive you to set personal goals and work towards them. What if you start to feel envious of a friend who got the raise you really wanted? Instead of feeling resentment, think about why you're jealous and what that means for your own job goals. Make a plan for your professional development based on this thought. For example, you could take on new jobs, improve your skills, or talk to your boss about a future path. You can turn possibly bad feelings into a force for personal growth by focusing on it. If you want to keep your relationships healthy, this principle can help. Recognize any mistakes or misunderstandings from previous encounters, learn from them, and then let them go. This way of thinking keeps past problems from getting in the way of your present and future relationships, so you can talk to people with an open mind. Your personal health and your relationships will both benefit from living without jealousy. It makes it possible for real relationships based on love and respect for each other instead of competition and comparison. This better balance encourages people to work together and help each other in groups, whether they are at work, at home, or with friends. A changing principle called "never be jealous" urges you to live your life with honesty and kindness. Without getting caught up in unfavorable comparisons, it challenges you to focus on your journey and growth. By adopting this principle, you create a more satisfying life that is marked by genuine contentment, respect for other people's success, and a community that is helpful. This method adds to the building of a more sensitive and united society, in addition to benefiting your work and personal life. Principle 8. Never let yourself be saddened by a separation. This principle emphasizes the importance of maintaining personal emotional resilience and perspective in the face of ends or partings, whether they involve relationships, careers, or life stages. Recognizing separations as natural elements of life's ongoing flow, it requires you to approach them with a sense of acceptance and courage. Breakups can make us feel a lot of strong emotions, especially sadness and loss, because they often mean the end of important parts of our lives. But thinking about these feelings all the time can make it hard to move on and take advantage of new possibilities. Using this principle doesn't mean ignoring or stifling your emotions. Rather, it means controlling them in a way that makes you stronger and helps you start over. You can transform your experience of separations by adopting a positive perspective that sees them as chances for growth and new starts. It helps to enjoy the moment and the growth that comes with change, to understand that life is a set of stages, each with its own worth and purpose. With this viewpoint, you have the courage to enjoy the present more and have hope for the future. Focus on building mental resilience in order to live by this principle. Meditation and other mindfulness practices can help you stay calm and at peace during times of change. Maintaining a strong network of friends and family can also give you the mental support you need to navigate separation. A healthy outlook can also be strengthened by thinking about past separations and recognizing the good things that happened afterward. Recognizing the advantages that can result from ends, such as personal development, new relationships, or unexpected chances, can help lessen the sadness that can accompany them. Imagine that one of your best friends moves away. You can decide to focus on the good things about the loss rather than focusing on it, like the growth you might both experience on your own. Using technology to stay friends across long distances and planning future visits can also help transform this time apart into a new part of your relationship rather than an end. You not only gain personally, but also set a good standard for those around you by learning how to handle separations with grace. Change is a natural and good part of life, and this method can help build a community that accepts it. Along with strengthening social ties and group resilience, it motivates people to help each other through changes. Never let yourself be saddened by a separation is a principle that gives you the courage and positivity to deal with the changes that will inevitably occur in your life. Finding strength in adversity and seeing every ending as a gateway to new starts are challenges you face. You can live a more interesting and satisfying life that is marked by ongoing personal growth and the capacity to adapt to change by adopting this mindset. Adopting this principle helps you build a strong emotional base, which makes you better able to handle the challenges of life with grace and positivity. Principle 9. Resentment and complaint are appropriate neither for oneself nor others. This principle emphasizes the importance of maintaining a positive and helpful attitude while avoiding the problems that come with holding on to resentment or complaining frequently. You create an environment of positivity and productivity both inside of yourself and in your relationships with others by sticking to this principle. Unfulfilled expectations or imagined injustices are frequently the source of resentment and complaint. Even though these feelings are natural, focusing on them can cause a loop of pessimism that stunts personal growth and puts stress on relationships. This principle promotes a more thoughtful and proactive approach to challenges, rather than letting your emotions control your reactions. Shifting your focus from what is wrong to what can be done to make things right is the key to getting over resentment and complaining. This entails changing your frame of mind from one of victimization to one of agency, which means realizing that you are in control of your circumstances and responses. It is crucial to approach this process with a solution-oriented mindset. Ask yourself how you can contribute to an answer rather than regretting what went wrong. In addition to making you feel less useless, this method gives you the power to take positive action, which can lead to better results. For instance, rather than whining to your co-workers about a persistent issue at work that causes frustration, you might want to suggest a workable answer to your boss. You will be seen as a bold and valuable team member after taking this action, which also solves the problem. Another key component of this principle is building mental resilience. It means learning how to get back on your feet after a failure and keep a positive attitude in the face of challenges. An effective way to improve your resilience is to practice thanks. You can smooth out bad emotions and gain a wider, more balanced view on your situation by regularly recognizing and enjoying the good things in your life. It's also important to encourage honest and open conversation. When problems appear, talking to the people involved openly and in a helpful way can keep resentment from growing and lessen the urge to complain. This makes the surroundings better and more open, whether it's at home, at work, or with friends. Imagine that you don't feel respected in your relationship. Talk to your partner about your feelings and needs in a calm and honest way, rather than holding on to resentment or complaining quietly. The relationship can be improved through this open conversation, which is good for both parties. It can also result in shared understanding and action. Following this principle helps your relationships with other people as well as your personal well-being. In both your personal and business life, it makes things more helpful and united. In addition, By acting in this way yourself, you push others to do the same, which can lead to better relationships and more productive teams. A revolutionary principle that promotes personal integrity and interdependent peace is: resentment and complaint are inappropriate neither for oneself nor others. You can face life's challenges with positivity and purpose by adopting this mindset, which will increase your happiness and success. You should focus on answers and growth in your life, which makes this principle a great way to live a full and meaningful life. Principle 10. Do not let yourself be guided by the feeling of lust or love. If you let strong emotions like love or lust control your actions, this principle says to be careful. Even though these emotions are natural and important to human experience, letting them control decision-making without a healthy dose of logic can result in results that aren't in one's best interests or values in the long run. If lust and love aren't controlled, they can cloud judgment and cause people to make decisions that aren't good for their overall life. This principle is not in favor of suppressing these emotions, but rather of a balanced approach where feelings are taken into account along with practical factors and moral standards. It's crucial to develop self-awareness that helps you recognize when emotions like lust or love are unduly affecting your behavior in order to apply this principle successfully. Mindfulness practices that assist you in observing your emotions without acting on them right away can help you develop this awareness. In a work setting, for example, having strong feelings for someone shouldn't make you make unfair choices, like giving them extra chances or benefits that aren't theirs. Similarly, love shouldn't make you blind to important problems that need to be dealt with in your personal relationships. To avoid being led wrong by your emotions, you need to be able to think critically. Instead of making choices based solely on how you feel, it includes objectively examining situations and making them based on a thorough understanding of the circumstances. This could mean giving yourself time to think about big choices, talking to trusted people for help, or just taking a break when your emotions are running high. Managing how your emotions affect your choices is another important part of emotional intelligence. You can control your own emotions and understand how other people feel without letting them get in the way of thinking clearly. This skill is very valuable for maintaining healthy, fair, and mutually helpful relationships, both personal and business. Think about a situation in which you might have a strong reaction to a new coworker. Recognizing this, it's important to stay professional by keeping conversations focused on work-related things and making sure that any personal feelings don't affect your professional judgment or behavior. When used in personal life, this principle might mean being careful not to make hasty promises based on how strongly you feel about someone at the start of a relationship. Taking the time to think about fit, shared ideals, and long-term goals is encouraged before making big choices in life. By following this principle, you will be better able to make choices that are based on deeper values and long-term goals rather than just fleeting emotions. This method promotes a more rewarding and solid personal and work life in addition to preventing possible mistakes. Principle 11. In all things have no preferences. This principle advises choosing an openness of mind and flexibility, avoiding hard tastes that can limit growth and experience. One way to look at life that isn't tied to specific results is encouraged. This makes you more open to new experiences and possibilities. Not having any preferences doesn't mean you don't have any views or standards. It just means you don't let your preferences limit you or keep you from other options, as it opens up a wider range of actions and exchanges that would otherwise be missed due to biases or preconceived ideas. This attitude can result in a more enriching life. You can more easily react to changing circumstances and varied settings by cultivating a lack of strong tastes. The ability to switch gears or change plans without experiencing stress is becoming more and more valuable in today's fast-changing world, so this flexibility can be especially useful. For instance, if you don't really have a taste for one type of job or role over another at work, you might be more open to taking on a variety of tasks. Some of the skills you can gain are new ones, better adaptability, and more value as a team member. In order to promote a more peaceful workplace, it also helps in avoiding fights that result from divergent interests. This principle also calls for having an open mind and courage when accepting new situations. If you don't have any set tastes, you might try new foods, cultures, or hobbies that you normally wouldn't. Insights, pleasure, and a better understanding of the world can come from every new experience. Putting this principle into practice in real life might mean deciding to hear different points of view before forming your own about a subject, thereby avoiding the trap of confirmation bias. Sometimes it means being ready to change your normal habits and routines, which can help you find better or more fun ways to live. Following the principle of having no biases helps you see things in a more balanced and open-minded way. It lets you connect with the world around you more closely, which builds relationships and understanding that go beyond standard limits. This method adds to a more sensitive and united society in addition to enhancing personal growth. Principle 12. Be indifferent to where you live. In terms of living situations, this principle supports adaptability and simplicity. It shows people how important it is to be happy no matter where they are. You can focus more on your inner growth and personal circumstances rather than on outward circumstances by cultivating an attitude of indifference to where you live. Adopting this principle means realizing that happiness and fulfillment are not tied to a certain place or type of home. Whether you live in a busy city, a quiet neighborhood, or a remote country area, it promotes the idea that you can grow and find contentment wherever you are put. You can more easily adapt to life's changes and challenges thanks to this mindset, which frees you from the pressure to find the perfect house or area. In today's global and often mobile society, where people move for jobs, relationships, or just a change of pace, this adaptability can be particularly helpful. Focusing your energy instead on what you can accomplish and experience in each new place will help you move more smoothly and with less stress by being unattached to where you live. If you have to move for a job chance, for example, following this principle can help you see the move as a journey and a step forward instead of a problem. This kind of openness can help you have more experiences and see things from different points of view as you learn to see the good and the chance in every new place you go. In addition, this principle can inspire courage in the surroundings. You might choose more eco-friendly living options that fit with a modest lifestyle if you value flexibility over wealth or size in housing. This will help you leave less of an impact on the environment. By focusing on building a happy life that isn't influenced by your surroundings, you can practice cultivating this attitude. Invest in relationships, look for work that matters, and do hobbies that you can take with you anywhere. Having a rich inner life increases your mobility and keeps your sense of well-being from being too tied to one place. In the end, not caring where you live shows you how to find security and contentment within. Building a strong spirit that can handle different places and events in life with calm and grace is one of its benefits. An open and adjustable attitude to life's necessary changes is supported by this internal focus, which also improves personal happiness. Principle 13. Do not pursue the taste of good food. This principle says that eating habits should be simple and moderate. It says that you shouldn't overindulge in or become obsessed with the joys of good food. By not focusing too much on tasty treats, you can live a better life, avoid the problems that come with overindulging, and keep your goals on things that are more emotionally and intellectually satisfying. This principle isn't meant to take away from the pleasure of eating or say that good food shouldn't be enjoyed. Instead, it's meant to keep food from becoming a main focus or distraction in life. This way of thinking backs up a more balanced way of life, in which food's main purpose is to feed us, instead of becoming a source of extra cravings and desires. Adopting this principle can help you become more self-disciplined and make you healthier in general. It motivates people to make food decisions that are good for their health, instead of ones that are based on short-term joys. Selecting foods that have been treated less and are better balanced in nutrients, for instance, can improve your physical health and mental clarity. Also, if you don't let the search for good food take over your life, you can spend more time and money on other things. Personal development tasks, such as learning new skills, being artistic, or helping out with neighborhood and social issues, can be included. As a practical matter, this principle can be put into practice by making meals that are both simple and healthy, and by avoiding eating out a lot or eating fancy or expensive foods that are often more of an experience than a snack. It also means being aware of why you choose certain foods and trying to make decisions that are good for your body and your general life goals. A deeper understanding of food while it is being eaten can also result from this principle. If you don't overindulge, you can enjoy each meal more and get to know the real tastes without the negative effects that come from overindulging all the time. Taking a modest approach to food can also be good for the earth. It might make people eat less meat and prepared foods, which use more resources to make. This is consistent with healthy living practices that are good for both people and the environment. In the end, following this principle will help you better control your emotions, focus on things that make your life better, and keep a good balance in all areas of your life. This not only adds to personal health and sustainability, but it also involves a more thoughtful and conscious approach to one of life's basic joys. Principle 14. Do not hold on to possessions you no longer need. The importance of letting go of things that are no longer useful is emphasized by this principle, which stresses the value of simplicity. You can free yourself from the stress of clutter and develop a more focused, thoughtful way of living by letting go of things that aren't necessary. Keeping things you don't need can cause physical mess, which can then lead to mental clutter. To take care of all your things, you need more time and energy. You can make room for what really counts by getting rid of things that are no longer useful or have any meaning to you. You are required to regularly review your belongings and determine their importance in accordance with this principle of courage. You can give away, recycle, or throw away things that don't add value to your life or that you haven't used in a long time. This process not only clears out your space, but it also gives you a chance to help other people by giving away things that could be useful to them. A sense of thanks and contentment is also promoted by having fewer things. You value those things more when you put your focus on what you really need. If you change your mindset from needing more to being happy with less, you may find more happiness and peace of mind. Also, getting rid of things you don't need can make your life easier. You can spend less time cleaning, planning, and maintaining your home when you have fewer things to keep track of. This frees up time and mental energy for more important things, like spending time with family and friends, going on hobbies, or working on personal development. That's not all. This principle is also in line with practices for healthy living. You can contribute to the environment's health by cutting back on spending and waste. It gives you the courage to choose quality over number, buying things that will last and that you really need. Setting aside time each month to go through your belongings and decide what to keep, give, or get rid of is all that is required to put this principle into practice. It can also mean having a modest mindset, which means putting events and relationships ahead of things. For instance, instead of getting new clothes all the time, you could buy a few well-made, flexible pieces that you love and will last a long time. You could also focus on maintaining and maximizing the use of the tools and gadgets you already own, rather than buying new ones. This principle also tells you to separate your sense of courage and self-worth from your belongings. True fulfillment comes from within, despite the temptation to define yourself by your possessions. By getting rid of things you don't need, you remember yourself that your worth is not tied to things. In the end, following this principle will help you live a more purposeful, focused, and satisfying life. You must have the courage to live your life with meaning, to put what's important first, and to let go of everything else. This adds to a more healthy and mindful way of living, in addition to improving your personal health. Principle 15. Do not act following customary beliefs. This principle urges people to think critically and not follow the rules and expectations of society. Instead of mindlessly adhering to accepted customs, it tells you to question conventional beliefs and practices and make choices based on personal judgment and experience. Following what most people think can sometimes lead to conformity and stagnation. Despite the fact that societal rules are frequently accepted without question, they might not always be in your best interests or be consistent with your values. You can gain a deeper understanding of what is really important to you and make decisions that are true to your authentic self by challenging these ideas. The development of a more open and free mindset is one of the advantages of this principle. You are more likely to try new things, accept change, and come up with new ideas when you are not limited by what other people think. The result could be personal growth and a fuller, more satisfying life. Examining your cultural, familial, and community-based views and practices is the first step in putting this principle into practice. Think about why you follow them and whether their goals and ideals are the same as your own. This exercise can help you figure out which traditions are important to you and which ones you might want to change or give up. For example, standard work routes might lead you to believe that certain jobs or pay levels describe success. You might find that your true love is in a different field if you question this idea. This field might bring you more joy and fulfillment, even if it is not usually seen as important or wealthy. This principle can be valuable in relationships as well. Norms in society often tell people what roles they should play and how their relationships should be set up. You can build relationships based on shared respect, understanding, and real connection instead of just following the rules by questioning these norms. This principle also promotes the freedom of thought. You can consider many different points of view and thoughts when you are not limited by what most people believe. This can contribute to a more thoughtful and educated approach to life and improve your understanding of the world. One more real-world use is in making decisions. Think about all of your choices and weigh them against your personal values and the specifics of the situation before going with the norm. More authentic and rewarding choices may result from this strategy. You might choose to rent instead of buying a home if that's what people in your community do as a sign of security and success, but not if it doesn't fit your lifestyle or financial goals. Greater flexibility and peace of mind may result from this decision, which is based on your specific circumstances and tastes. This principle also pushes you to keep in mind how your activities affect other people. You can question social rules that are harmful or unfair by not behaving in line with what most people think. This has the potential to contribute to social change and the development of a more just and open society. It takes courage and a desire to stand out to live by this principle. It means having faith in your own understanding and being ready for criticism from people who strictly follow standard views. Living truly and in line with your real self, on the other hand, has many benefits. This principle ultimately teaches you how to live an authentic and honest life. It requires you to question, investigate, and pick your path based on personal beliefs rather than social expectations. This takes courage. By doing this, you can make your life truly your own, one that has meaning, is rewarding, and is in line with your core values and goals. Principle 16. Do not collect weapons or practice with weapons beyond what is useful, particularly when it comes to skills and belongings related to defense and fighting. This principle stresses the importance of usefulness and purpose in your endeavors. It encourages a focus on usefulness and speed rather than accumulating tools or skills beyond what is necessary. There are many negative effects that can result from amassing guns or engaging in practices that are too intense. It can keep you from practicing the most important skills you need and give you a fake sense of comfort based on having a lot of tools instead of being truly skilled. By focusing on what actually improves your skills and meets your wants, this principle pushes you to make smart use of your time and money. To use this principle, you need to carefully consider what you really need to reach your goals. The focus should be on quality and usefulness rather than number when it comes to martial arts, personal protection, or even other areas of life like hobbies or work skills. For example, in martial arts or self-defense, it's better to have a full understanding of a few methods than a general understanding of many. This level of mastery makes sure that you can count on your skills when you need to, instead of being confused by too many choices that you can't do well. In the same way, this principle can be applied to the gathering of things in your personal life. Having a lot of tools, toys, and equipment that you don't use very often can make your mind and room feel cluttered. Instead, maintaining a small, high-quality set of things that you use frequently can help you live a more organized, focused, and efficient life. Your development of skills and information in a work setting can be guided by this principle. Focus on mastering the tools and techniques that are most important to your job and business objectives, rather than trying to learn every possible one. This focused method helps you get very good at what you do, which makes you more valuable and capable in your job. This principle also promotes courage and purpose. Taking a more careful approach to growth and gain means thinking about what each skill or asset is for and how it can be used. As you are constantly focusing on what truly matters and meets your needs, this mindfulness can result in greater satisfaction and a deeper sense of success. Regular assessments of your skills and belongings may be necessary to put this principle into practice. You should check what you own and what you are learning every so often to see if they are still useful. If not, you might want to let them go or focus your efforts on something more useful. It might be time to clear and keep only those things that improve your cooking experience. For instance, if you find that you have a lot of kitchen tools but only use a few of them frequently, this not only makes your kitchen easier to use, but it also makes it easier to focus on honing your cooking skills using the tools you already have. The constant desire for more can also be lessened by this principle, which can also promote a sense of contentment. You can avoid falling into the consumerist mistake of always wanting the newest and best thing by focusing on what is really useful and important. By appreciating and making the most of what you have, this can lead to a more sustainable and fulfilling way of living. In the end, this principle shows how important it is to be efficient, have a goal, and be thoughtful. In order to develop a focused, effective, and satisfying approach to both personal growth and financial things, it urges you to focus on what is truly good and necessary. By following this principle, you develop a practical knowledge mindset that guides your efforts and resources toward things that really make your life and skills better. Principle 17. Do not fear death. With courage and acceptance, this principle requires facing the unavoidable reality of death. You can live more fully and freely by focusing on what really matters and making the most of your time by understanding and accepting death as a natural part of life. When people are afraid of death, they may live a life full of anxiety and fear. It can keep you from taking chances, following your dreams, or doing things that are truly important to you. Recognizing that fear of death is an unchangeable aspect of the human experience and that it only lowers the value of your life is the first step toward adopting this principle. To follow this principle, you need to develop a mindset that recognizes death but doesn't let it take over your daily life. Thinking about how short life is and using that knowledge to motivate living with meaning is part of this. Meditation and mindfulness are two methods to practice this principle. By lowering your tendency to worry about the future, including death, these practices help you stay present and enjoy each moment. You can experience life more fully and deeply by focusing on the present, making every moment count. A sense of purpose and meaning in your life can also help you deal with your fear of death. If you know what your values and goals are, you can focus on living in a way that fits with them. This will give you a sense of fulfillment and lower your psychological anxiety. Even in the face of death, it can bring comfort and a sense of peace to know that you are living a worthwhile life. Adopting this principle also means facing and working through your fears about death. This could entail having open discussions with loved ones about your fears and beliefs, reading philosophy or spiritual books on the subject, or getting help from teachers or psychologists. You can have a more complex and accepting view of death if you learn about the different points of view. A more brave approach to life can result from not fearing death, in real words. You might be more eager to face challenges, try new things, and leave your comfort zone. This lack of fear can open up new chances for personal growth and improvement. Adopting the principle of not fearing death can help you take bold steps toward your goals if you are deeply committed to a cause or dream, but have been holding back because you are afraid of failing or being rejected. It can push you to make the most of your time and do what's important to you when you know that your life is limited. Focusing on relationships and the legacy you want to leave behind is another requirement of this principle. Understanding that you have a limited amount of time can help you set priorities like spending time with loved ones, fixing broken relationships, and doing good in your community. A deeper sense of meaning and contentment can be found through this focus on relationship and service. Another thing that can make you value life more is accepting that death is inevitable. Being aware of how fragile and short life is makes you more likely to enjoy the little joys and beautiful moments that come your way every day. Being more grateful can make your life fuller and happier. Do not fear death is a principle that tells you to live your life with courage, purpose, and presence. It teaches you to accept the reality of death with acceptance, allowing you to focus on what's important and make the most of your time. By following this principle, you can create a brave and satisfying life full of important activities, deep relationships, and a deep respect for the present moment. Principle 18. Do not seek to possess either goods or fiefs for your old age. It is against this principle to get rich and own lots of property just so you will be comfortable and safe in old age. On the contrary, it supports living a purposeful life by focusing on the present and the value of events over things. A life ruled by anxiety and an excessive focus on material wealth can result from the chase of goods and homes for future security. The pleasure and fulfillment of your current life may be diminished as a result. You can live more fully in the present by not focusing on accumulating wealth for the future and instead enjoying and being grateful for what you have now. You shouldn't be careless or forget to plan for the future because of this principle. Instead, it stresses a balanced approach in which financial comfort is not the main goal, but an important part of a complete life. Instead of focusing solely on amassing wealth and property, it pushes you to spend in relationships, personal growth, and events that bring you joy and fulfillment. To use this principle, you should first look at your current goals and way of life. Think about how much of your time and energy you spend on acquiring and maintaining material things, as opposed to engaging in activities that make your life better in other ways. You should try to focus less on material wealth and more on relationships and events that matter. Following this principle can help you live an easier, more purposeful life. By putting what's most important to you first, you can escape the stress and problems that often come with trying to get too much money and property. Downsizing your living area, cleaning your home, or changing your work goals from cash gain to personal fulfillment and effect are some examples of this. This principle also motivates people to be kind and share. Instead of keeping your money and things for yourself, think about how you can use them to help other people and make your town a better place. Rather than just gathering things for future use, this can give you a greater sense of satisfaction and meaning. You might choose to spend your money on events rather than things in practice. In contrast to material things, experiences like travel, education, hobbies, and time spent with loved ones can foster personal growth. Investing in yourself and your relationships can often give you better and more satisfying results than investing money. A living based on this principle can also be more sustainable and better for the earth. You can help the environment by lowering your focus on getting things. This will lead to less spending and waste. This fits with bigger goals of living in a way that is sustainable and ethical. Think about the story of someone who has spent their whole life working and has built up a lot of money and land. As they get closer to retirement, they learn that even though they have a lot of money, they are unhappy and cut off from the things that really mean to them. As they get older, they find more happiness and contentment by focusing less on things and more on events and relationships. Building a sense of inner comfort and self-reliance is another thing this principle promotes. Develop the skills, knowledge, and personal strengths that will support you throughout your life, rather than relying on outward things for your sense of well-being. This inner ability lasts longer and is more stable than any material wealth. Do not seek to possess either goods or fiefs for your old age. Teaches you to value what's important in life: deep relationships with others, personal growth, and experiences that count. You can live a more balanced, satisfying, and mindful life by focusing on these things rather than accumulating financial wealth. This principle directs you toward a better existence where worth is found in how you live and what you contribute to the world rather than what you own. Principle 19. Respect Buddha and the gods without counting on their help. In addition to maintaining respect for spiritual views and customs, this principle emphasizes the importance of self-reliance and personal duty. It encourages you to respect spiritual leaders and practices, but it also stresses that your actions and efforts are what make your life what it is. Respecting spiritual customs and beliefs gives you a moral and ethical framework that can direct your decision and action. However, depending solely on spiritual help or divine guidance can result in inaction and lethargy. This principle says that you should honor and value spiritual advice, but you shouldn't count on it to get things done or solve your problems. It's crucial to strike a balance between your spiritual views and real action in order to put this principle into practice. Recognize the importance of taking ownership of your life and the value of your efforts. This way of thinking gives you a sense of power and control over your life, letting you actively shape your future. To follow this principle, you need to set goals and work hard to reach them, while also recognizing and valuing the spiritual parts of your life. You could pray or meditate to get help and strength, but you also need to take real steps to reach your goals. Spiritual practice and hard work together can help you live a more balanced and satisfying life. Additionally, this principle promotes personal responsibility and critical thinking. Instead of waiting for a sign or a miracle, it encourages you to assess the situation and make a decision based on your understanding and skills. This purposeful frame of mind can improve problem-solving and decision-making. Applying this principle in your daily life may entail looking for spiritual comfort and guidance during challenging times, but not using it as an excuse to put off action. For example, if you are going through a tough situation at work, you might find comfort and strength in your spiritual practices. But you also need to do something about it, like talk to a guide, get better at what you do, or look for new possibilities. This principle also promotes respect for other people's views and humility. You acknowledge the importance of spiritual practices and the wisdom they offer by respecting Buddha and the gods without expecting their assistance, but you also admit that each person is responsible for their own actions and choices. This principle can also help you connect with your faith in a deeper, more personal way. Your relationship with your beliefs can grow deeper and more important when you practice spiritual practices out of love for them and not out of a desire for change. It supports a genuine and modest approach to faith, where you look for inspiration and direction instead of letting outside forces decide your path. Think about someone who is very spiritual and also very busy. For clarity and to get centered, they might start their day with prayer or meditation. They don't, however, wait for God to step in before making a decision or taking action. They base their deeds on the strength and knowledge they gain from their spiritual practices. This principle fits with the idea of self-efficacy, which means believing that you can change what happens and how things turn out. Taking personal responsibility and following spiritual views at the same time makes you more confident in your own skills and gives you a better sense of control over your life. In the end, respect Buddha and the gods without counting on their help teaches you to respect your spiritual views while also stressing the importance of personal effort and independence. It involves a balanced approach to life, where spiritual knowledge and real courage are combined. By following this principle, you can develop a sense of self-worth, respect, and humility, which will help you live a more meaningful and satisfying life. When you follow this principle, you will be honest and deliberate in your life, knowing that both spiritual direction and personal duty play a part in making your path. Principle 20. You may abandon your own body, but you must preserve your honor. This principle emphasizes the importance of respect and ethics. Even at the cost of physical comfort or safety, it promotes living a life that places a premium on moral behavior and personal beliefs. Maintaining your ideals and upholding your views in all circumstances is essential to maintaining your honor. Honor is seen as a core value that describes a person's character and worth in many cultures and ideas. Some of the things that make up character are honesty, ethics, courage, and respect. Even when faced with challenges or pressures that could lead you wrong, upholding your honor takes a firm commitment to these values. According to this principle, you should always make decisions that are good and right, even if they are hard or dangerous. It takes a strong sense of self-respect and a promise to always do the right thing, no matter what. In a world where people are often tempted to give up their ideals for short-term gain and ease, this can be especially challenging. To use this principle, you should first make a list of your core views and ideals. Consider what honor means to you and how it shows up in the decisions and actions you take every day. You'll be able to make decisions that are in line with your ideals, thanks to this self-awareness. In practice, keeping your honor might entail standing up for what you believe in, even if it makes you uncomfortable or puts your personal safety at risk. It might entail abstaining from shady workplace practices, standing up for someone who is being treated poorly, or owning up to a mistake and accepting the results rather than lying to get out of them. For instance, think about a situation at work where you are asked to take part in or ignore bad behavior, like lying in reports or hiding mistakes. To protect your honor, you might have to refuse to do what is asked of you, even if it means losing your job. You will be honest and set a good example for others by doing this. When it comes to personal relationships, keeping your honor means being fair and respectful to others, even when it's hard. It entails acting with kindness and understanding, being truthful and open, and keeping your word. These acts help people believe and respect each other, which are important for relationships to be healthy and fulfilling. You can face adversity with courage and resilience if you follow this principle. You build a strong inner strength that helps you navigate life's challenges with respect by putting honor ahead of physical comfort. This kind of character power can motivate others and contribute to a society that is more fair and decent. Living with respect can also give one a deep sense of peace and fulfillment. A deep sense of satisfaction and self-respect are produced by knowing that you behaved in line with your beliefs, even in the face of adversity. Your resolve to living a moral life is strengthened, and your identity is confirmed. The legacy you leave behind is another part of this principle. If you live an honorable life, people will remember you for your honesty and the good things you did for others. Giving to the greater good and setting an example for future generations to follow are two ways to do it. You may abandon your own body, but you must preserve your honor, tells you to put your ideals and honor above everything else. Regardless of the personal cost, it calls for a life of courage, honesty, and principle. Adopting this principle will help you build a strong and worthy character, which will make your life more valuable and important. This strategy adds to a more moral and just world where people are guided by their greatest standards and determined to do what is right, in addition to enhancing your personal sense of worth. Principle 21. Never stray from the way. The importance of staying true to your path, beliefs, and ideas is emphasized by this principle. The way could mean your personal theory, your spiritual path, or the set of moral and ethical rules you follow. No matter what challenges or distractions come up, this principle urges you to stay committed to the way of life you have chosen. Sticking to your path takes self-control, knowing yourself, and a strong sense of purpose. If you don't let outside circumstances, temptations, or forces change your mind, you will stay true to what you know to be right. This constancy helps to foster an authentic life. Having a clear understanding of your values and goals is crucial for applying this principle. Really think about what you want out of life and what you believe in. This clarity will help you make choices and take actions that are consistent with your beliefs. Establishing habits and practices that support your values is one way to remain dedicated to your path. Regular meditation, writing, and other forms of self-reflection that help you stay connected to your core views are some examples of these. Especially during times of trouble or confusion, these practices help you stay focused and strong. Being aware of the factors in your life is another part of this principle. Find people, places, and things that support and fit with your path and surround yourself with them. Bad influences can make you less committed, while good ones can cause distractions and desires that pull you away from your goal. For example, if you are committed to living a healthy lifestyle, pick people who support your exercise goals, do things that are good for you, and watch or read things that are good for you. Staying on your path will be easy if you stay away from places and people that make you want to do bad things. Continuous learning and growth are also necessary to stay true to your path. Be open to new ideas and events that can improve your trip and expand your understanding. Only include those that fit with your core values and contribute to your path, though, so use your judgment. Although difficulties and failures are unavoidable, seeing them as chances for growth rather than barriers can help you stay committed. Remind yourself why you picked your path when things get hard. Thinking about what drives you can spark your desire and determination again. There are also times when you may slip up, but it's important to forgive yourself and learn from them instead of giving up on your path. Everyone makes mistakes, and they can be valuable learning situations that help you stay determined. The important thing is to see them for what they are, figure out what caused them, and then return to your way with all your might. Also, telling other people about your journey can give you extra support and hold you accountable. Connecting with people who share your beliefs, whether through official groups, casual friendships, or online communities, can help you stay committed and give you courage and advice when you need it. For instance, if your path involves artistic activities like writing or art, joining a group of other artists can give you ideas, helpful comments, and a sense of belonging. This network can help you stay committed to your artistic path even when you doubt yourself or feel pressure from other people. The importance of steadfast commitment to your beliefs and goals is ultimately taught by never stray from the way. Every action and decision must be in line with your core ideals. This requires a focused, thoughtful attitude to life. You can live a life of ethics, meaning, and fulfillment if you follow this principle. This unwavering dedication not only improves your personal journey, but it also shows others the strength and beauty of living according to one's values. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the timeless wisdom of Miyamoto Musashi. We hope these principles inspire and empower you to live a more fulfilling and resilient life. If you found this valuable, please subscribe to our channel for more insights and transformative content. Stay connected, stay inspired, and continue walking your path with purpose.